Did you did you think 35 inches would be as big as it is now, or like and the progression is going
Uh,
when you first started?
I mean, yeah, because we're not big enough yet. So like, I definitely like can't stop thinking about
Hmm.
where I want it to go and
Definitely.
how big I want it to be and 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 more like how impactful. Not like I need 1,000 employees, and it's
Hmm.
just like how much we're impacting what we're doing, like in the world we're in. Like it's tough to figure out what how important anything is at times, right? But in the world we're in, you want to make an impact and you want to like do something that's special and create something that can last a long time and something you can feel good about. So there's a long ways to go, but yeah, I definitely felt like we could do it. And I'm a real proponent on like to just create it.
This right here is Rich Kleiman, co-founder of 35 Ventures, a man who realized he didn't have to go to class in college and an Alyssa Milano lover boy. But he's an amazing husband and father of two daughters who actually became Kevin Durant's business partner when he first entered the NBA in 2007. From 2013, when Rich was a music supervisor from Roc Nation Sports, he chose to resign so he could become Durant's full-time manager. This ended up being one of his best decisions in his life, since him and Durant had the idea in mind that they could connect to emerging companies that created value for their venture capital to grow. And it worked.
Basket, he's been doing a job of.
Durant lob it. Jordan slips to the rim and slam. Durant had a steam. Shake and bake. Scoop. George Gervin. Durant the back in on Hunter. Harris. Oh yeah, a three. Young stumbles. And Harris there, his back actually came away with a steal. Harden floats it up, slam down. Kevin Durant.
Anybody? Durant. Thompson trying to stick him again, and it doesn't matter, folks. It just.
Kevin Durant's success on the court has made him a global superstar and the greatest scorer of all time to ever enter the NBA. But what has always intrigued me about Durant is what he does off the court on how he invests his money with his private startup company 35 Ventures. You're going to learn in this video on how his startup company began from the ground up and what investments were made that turned 35 Ventures into the successful company that it is. So watch the entire video to find out what you can take away from this.
Down. Durant puts the Nets in front.
Collins was looking to do it. Durant goes quick. Some breathing room for.
In 2016, they started off by investing in tech companies which catapulted 35 Ventures into the highly well-known venture capital that it is today. Having successful startups with companies in Silicon Valley put their private company on the map, which gave them so much leverage to use. They have invested into businesses like Coinbase, which is a free app to use and install that allows you to buy popular crypto coins and tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Cardano, Solana, and XRP. They have funded a total of already $547.3 million in a Series B funding round. Acorns, which is another free app to download that allows you to not only invest in a bundle of stocks like the S&P 500, but also invest in spare change over time every time you swipe your card. So far, they funded $207 million that is also in a Series B funding round. Ambox, which is another company on this list, is an esports organization based in New York City that actually has its own Valorant team, which is a very popular video game. Unfortunately though, since it's in its early stages, they don't show the total amount of money they have funded. But for the fourth company on this list, OpenSea, they have a total funding of $127.2 million as a Series B funding round. And their company is a peer-to-peer marketplace for crypto collectibles and non-fungible tokens that can be bought or sold. Another private investment they've made in is with a Series E company called Whoop, which is a weird name to give it, but they actually have one of their best investments, where Whoop is a performance optimization system that tracks the athlete's recovery, their training, and the amount of hours they sleep. So far, they have a total funding amount of $404.8 million. Now the last one is actually pretty crazy. It's a Series A platform that raised $20 million this year in August. and they only had $1.8 million in 2021 alone. This company is called Syndicate. It's a decentralized management organization and social network. And as a Series A private company, they already have a total funding amount of $21.8 million. And they're just at the beginning. So as you can see, Durant and Kleiman are very strategic in the companies that they put their money into what Katie represents.
I always thought, growing up as a kid, I wasn't going to die until I got to the NBA.
What does a brand really mean to you guys, and the essence of what your brand means today? The general athlete and a lot of guys out here, the essence of brand starts with, trying to get as many endorsements as you possibly can, right? The essence of what the brand means to you guys obviously is different now. Can you guys just expound on the essence of what brand really means to you specifically?
I think just for us, it's just mainly just being around good people. For one, I mean, obviously the product has to be something that matches our brand, but just being around good people that have the same vision as us, just want to create something that's authentic and natural. Right. And we're just try to build from there. I mean, everything's going to take some time. We don't want to jump in and rush into something just because, I have, just because of who I am and the opportunities that presented to us, but we want to take our time with everything and realize time is the most important thing we have as humans. Right. So we don't want to waste that on something that is not, to the core of what we want to do. Right. So,
tell me, you had an idea of what you're possibly getting to coming out here. Tell me what does this mean to you? What does Silicon Valley mean to you now that you've been in it?
Well, it's just a place where it's a hotbed for just innovators and creatives, people that have a vision that want to provide something to humanity, and just being amongst so many open people just, opens your eyes to just the possibilities of life. And as crazy as that might sound, it's just being in San Francisco, driving through Oakland, just seeing so many, so much inspiration throughout a normal, regular day that I wasn't really getting. Right. It just pushes you forward as just a man. And I think that's just the most exciting part about it. And then having teammates and players around the league who are interested in tech and being out here as well. So it feels like things are starting to, bubble up for us as athletes, and we're starting to be in different fields and trying to get into different avenues of things, and, to be one of the guys that live here and kind of, pushing that out to the rest of my peers is pretty cool.
Because of this, 35 Ventures has accomplished so much in a short span of time. But when I looked into it even more, I realized that there's more to the story. Listen here as Rich explains more about the company and what it represents.
It would be super helpful if you could just kind of break down 35 Ventures and what you guys do by vertical, so that we can kind of talk about it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's the company itself manages Kevin's business. So it's like his Nike business, his on-court, his off-the-court deals, his foundation, the management of his life. And there could be a potential down the road to possibly manage or represent in some way, shape, or fashion other talent. And then we have the media platform, which is the boardroom, which we kind of see as like a 360 brand. It's like like to compare it sometimes to like what Complex maybe started out as, is like Complex was a music platform and now has just branched into culture and lifestyle. And I think if we could use that same analogy, we'd be like 80% sports and then 20% is connected to the culture and to art, to fashion, and to the business. So and we distribute our show on ESPN, but the brand is like all year round. So we'll release digital exclusives on different social platforms, and we're looking at doing different like offline things on the conference side or dinner series and merch angle. And there's just a lot of things we're trying to do around the brand, and our whole social like daily news feed and Instagram is a big part of it. We have a scripted series on Apple called Swagger, which don't have a release date yet, but we partner with Imagine Entertainment and Brian Grazer, and Apple's distributing it as part of their new platform. We have that doc on Showtime, In the Water it's called, and we've done a few other projects in the media space. And then investing, we do a lot of like early stage tech investing, and we do it in like, we're pretty active. So it wouldn't matter if we invested $25,000 or $1 million, we're going to stay involved. And usually the brands have a connection to us either because they're on brand or there's a CEO or somebody that we connected with. And when we get in business with them, we just try to like open up our resources and see how they can utilize us and how we can integrate ourselves and help them. And then sometimes it's like we're doing an entrepreneurship program at the Durant Center in Prince George's County, and some of the CEOs of some of the companies we invested in can come and talk on financial literacy or how they got to become an entrepreneur or a tech CEO. So it's all very intertwined. So like the foundation is a big part of the business in that like we're utilizing our relationships and brands to really like give back into this foundation so Kevin can pour back into his county.
It's more than a venture capital. It's a fully invested foundation that's innovative. From Katie's brand deals to his media platform boardroom and various other projects that they're working on as far as documentaries to entrepreneurship programs, 35 Ventures is becoming a global innovator that doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. So what lessons can you take away from building up a venture capital? That not only is it a way to create substantial amount of opportunities and money, but it's a foundation that builds communities to educate, support, and love one another while they spread memories that last for a lifetime. Thank you to everybody who watched this video all the way through. As you can tell, I'm in my dorm room right now, so this is pretty much my setup. My roommate isn't here, so I kind of have the room to myself. Yeah, man, this was a huge one to me because of the journey I've had through playing basketball and learning more about business. So definitely, if you love my content of what I post, if you loved how I posted this video, for anybody who's new, this is actually my first time making a video like this. So definitely let me know what you think. If you want me to do more of it, things you want me to add, just let me know. And I'll definitely continue doing these. I had fun making this one. It was tough at first because I had no idea what I was doing, so I had to go back and forth on YouTube to learn how to make this video like come to a realization. But definitely, if you want to see more, support me with the links down below. I'm gonna leave. I use Canva, Epidemic Sound, TubeBuddy, vidIQ to get my videos out and create it and promote it. So yeah, it's a huge bonus for me to kind of get that out there. Yeah, I think that's everything I want to say. You guys know who I am. And anyway, I'll see you in the next one.